So good evening, everyone. Today we have like two special guests, Datin Winnie, founder and chief credit directors of Part Above, Asian Hairdressing Association and Malaysia Hairdressing Association honorary president. Welcome, Winnie, Datin Winnie, and
Yeah,
and welcome Juno, the hair directors of Hair Cottage by Junos. And today's we have these two thought leaders in the industry to talk about, the topic that's very hit at the moment, to open, not to open. So, so before we start the topic, I'm gonna ask Tati Minilu about how you're doing. Today the day 28 of MCO. So how you doing so far?
well, I'm doing great. I learned to embrace change. I think nobody likes to be locked up, especially a person like me. I have never stopped working. I'm always out in the marketplace. Initially, it's tough, but learning to accept it because this is something not within my control, and being obedient, or rather, I would say, citizens of Malaysia that do not want to break rules. I literally don't step out of my house unless only for groceries. So I'm learning to accept changes. It's been wonderful so far. I use this quieter time to read a lot more. Um, I I have suddenly loved to swim back again, which actually is fantastic. It gives me a lot of added value to my health. Yeah, because I never got a chance to do those things. So now I'm doing things that I never got the time, and now yeah. I think time is essence. So this lockdown turned out to be something which I look at it is I'm not complaining. I will look at it as maybe my Almighty wanted me to have more time to read, to even read God's word. I think it's fantastic.
Okay, because as I know you are such a person that very, very busy, never stop yourself that by doing nothing. So having said that, to just ask you to stay at home is pretty much difficult decision for you though, actually. Right.
Initially, it was tough when they announced that it's going to start the lockdown from 18 March. We were like, what, 2 weeks? Then plus 2 weeks, and now 2 weeks. Actually, suddenly I just somehow got used to the rhythm of not working anymore. I hope this is not something that maybe I should retire.
Okay.
Not really, but I think I have learned to accept change.
What about Juno? How
Okay.
your answer so far?
Okay, basically for myself, I think ever since I started my business and joined become a hairdresser, I've been working really hard. I guess it's pretty hard for us, like everyone, to get such a long break. So at first, as seemed like what Datin Winnie said, at first was really not really used to it, but after all, I think it's good for us to stay calm and trying to find a little bit of freedoms and times to actually try to brushing up a little bit of my skill instead of just like a haircut thing. Sometimes I do doing a little bit of cooking, or maybe I'm trying to brushing up my skill, like doing a video editing, which is actually to help me how to promote my business and all that. Yeah.
During this MCO, anything you guys have done so far? The first time you do it.
First time. Okay, first time. I never really felt I need to Zoom meeting and all things. So suddenly, from Zoom to Microsoft Team, suddenly I'm learning, because I have to say I am a technosaur. When people say I am from the dinosaur era when it comes to technology, right? So new things from Microsoft meeting to WeChat meeting to Zoom meeting. So suddenly I just felt that it's like time for me to learn a lot more technical things digitally. Yeah.
Okay, it's quite fun, right? So what about you know? What is the first thing that like you probably never tried it, but you do it. You already you did it during this MCO.
I think I never tried it to lock up myself for that long. So because I'm staying all alone. So before that, I was staying with my family, but now due to this crisis period, I think it's better to stay home, right? So it's kind of challenging for me because like every day you're staying alone and then you have to live by yourself for about a
Mm-hmm.
month. I think until now it's like about 28 days. At first was
Mm-hmm.
really like I could say like a little bit terrible, but now I
Okay.
kind of adapt to it. It's quite
Okay.
good though. So I think this is something that I so far like I never tried before. So yeah.
Yeah. So for those who are actually watching us live, we have almost 70 people on live right now. So do share the live interview on your Facebook page so that get more people to benefit from this interview. Because today we're going to discuss about to open, not to open. This is such a difficult questions, and I guess that everybody's arguing. Just last week, Putrajaya announced a new list of sectors that were allowed to open during this MCO, which included barbershops, hair salon. If they had decided to go on with that legislation, would you consider opening your business and why? Let's start with Datin Winnie first.
Um, Maybe I would say that actually before we were even allowed to open, I was asked to
Hmm?
lobby for open. Okay,
Okay.
I yeah, I did try to make some effort, thinking that I can't be locked down for for any more longer because I felt that I could use my guidelines and my SOPs. Maybe they
Hmm?
may be like hotels. Some of the people may be chosen to
Hmm?
sort of like run the business on a smaller, like like a smaller team. I could have just get one or two of my shops started. I did
Hmm?
lobby. And
Hmm?
then the next is we realized that it's not even need to lobby. The government suddenly wanted this whole thing to be, they announced that it's going to be, uh, it's going to be not official, but they announced that yes, some services can be
Hmm?
if you apply and you're approved and you belong to certain zones. Initially, we didn't talk about the zones. We're talking
Hmm?
about the reality of wanting to open the business. If
Hmm?
there was a way, it's like to me, why not? That kind of thing. But
Hmm?
that was before we thought that it was like the numbers were adding. You see,
Hmm?
all of us thought we can't be locked here until end of May because they keep talking about the next thing is May, the next thing is maybe June. So
Hmm?
I, deep in my heart, I'm afraid. I'm
Hmm?
afraid to open. If I stay closed for too long, my may not be so deep to run
Hmm?
this business without plans. You see, we
Hmm?
all need strategy. So I felt that it's about time that maybe if my salon, one shop maybe, is selected to sort of be a service center,
Hmm?
we didn't initially. But then
Hmm?
when this whole thing, when the government start to approve it, and then we suddenly realize, no, it's the numbers are adding a lot of cases and all things,
Hmm?
and uh,
Hmm? Okay.
see, the thought to open and not to open is actually a very big constraint because you have to understand, I'm also an entrepreneur. I have so many
Hmm?
staff and so many shops to run. I can't just stay
Hmm?
closed until when they say let's say end of May. If
Hmm?
I do think about it, I may get myself into serious trouble just because I want to be a very good Malaysian and say, okay, stay close. But they
Hmm?
made ways to do the business by
Hmm?
operating in a very sort of SOP guidelines to take
Hmm?
in please some people. That's what I thought. That was where I
Hmm?
intended thought to open. But
Hmm?
then by the time the government says that yes, we are selecting certain services center to be able to
Okay.
open,
Yeah.
then the went wow. So it's like it's just not salon. Everything is opening. So many things are opening. Then
Okay.
I feel we should not be selfish. We should not
Okay.
even like that. industry should not be selfish. I stand as an advisor for the Malaysian Association, and I feel that we should be the voice to remain close, because you never know, because it's putting my team, the people in the industry, to fear, because the customer fear us. You see, when you the ongoing criticisms, I personally thank the government for being so kind to actually allow dressing salons to open. I personally is grateful. I do not want to scold the government, because you see, there are so many business that wants to be open and they are not. And if we are open, if we are allowed to open, if we don't want to try to open, at least I have the right. But if I go and the government for doing this, this is definitely not me, because I am thankful. I would say thanks to the Malaysian authority who really thinks that hair is essential, because there are people who say that it will have some people blood pressure and all things, because you see, different people have different needs in life. There may be some people who really have so much stress looking at their hair. I'm stressed, I'm getting so long, and so it's really about to be fair. We are not important to open, but think about it, that I don't think we should be in the blame position. I would say thank you to all the netizens in the country. Hairdressing becomes the topic of the week. We are suddenly so famous. I don't represent my shop. I represent the industry. We say we are very concerned about this. So we decided, we actually gave a letter to the Malaysian government and says that we have decided that we are very thankful, but we will choose not to open yet. We want to have government to flatten the curve and not rush to open. You see, we are thankful, but at the same time, we are thankful. You see, it's so important to be thankful to the authorities. We will definitely abide by the rules when the Malaysian government, the health authorities say yes, hair are not easy. It's true, because it's all about distancing. I'm not trained to 1 meter away or two. It's something that we will not want to be responsible, because to think of it, if the client says that they are afraid of us, but honestly, I would say, to be fair, I'm afraid of them, because they come into my shop. We are kept healthy. They are from everywhere, who pass us the virus.
Yeah, true. And Juno, what about you? When government announced, salons are okay to open, what's in your mind? And do you think, would you consider opening your business to customers during that time?
Okay, I think Winnie does answer all my questions, because I think she said it really well. At first, when I received this announcement, of course, come across my thought. I was thought like, oh, okay, why not? Maybe we can operate, because it's been closed for nearly about a month. So of course, we also need like income to sustain, right? So, but after further discussions in this matter in details with my partner, so we decided not to open like until the MCO is over and when the situations is getting improved, because we put the safety of our customer and of course ourselves, our staff, in the highest priority. Yeah.
Even they say okay to open after MCO. Do you think you still have the fear of operate your business, Winnie?
Well, I'm sure even after when it's open, the MCO is when we are allowed to open back, let's say 30th of April, things like that. There is still, we will still have a very, very stringent and very strong SOP guidelines, how we want to keep our premises, and even want to check on clients' temperatures, and we would definitely want them to fill the form where they have been, and or rather their last visits, because there may be people, we try to have just our regulars, but there may be people who have appointment with us who may have visited So we will definitely have all those little details in our record. So at least if there's anything that happened, if anything happened, at least we have some way traced who has been, because we will not just want to just open business and say, yes, we are cutting so many clients. We are very strict about how many clients we want to handle in a day. But then again, not just that alone, we want to know the details of the client that actually sat on the chair to the extent I am even going to say that client, just like I would say, okay, Xavier sat on seat number 3. I would really want to go detail that which client sit on which number, because my salons are big. We definitely have space. We definitely have social distancing. We don't need to crowd our clients together, seated so close. But then again, I think definitely want to start in a way that we will have a serious record of who is in and out of the shop.
Okay, yeah. So what about you?
Because you see, there's so much fear about even after the MCO, because unless the curve is so flattened when we are allowed to open, presuming that there's still minimal cases. But of course, let's say if the numbers are so small, let's say if it dropped to about 30, 40 cases in the whole of Malaysia, there may be only spread whole of Malaysia, maybe it's just like 2-3 cases in one state. So of course that we are not so afraid. But if the numbers are so, and yet we are running business, I think we will be definitely very, very concerned.
Yeah. What about Juno? Would you be concerned about the safety of your colleagues and yourself?
So of course, this is definitely yes, right? Because I think this is very important, because this virus itself, I don't have to explain much, as I'm not a doctor of that. So I guess everyone knows that it spread easily. So for our part, what we can do is we can only make sure that we have a very, very stringent procedures on our salon. Yeah, so actually, I think we have taking temperatures of every customer. So this is what my thought. I think it's pretty much similar with what Datin Winnie had said. So we have to maintaining the distance between the customer. So have to compulsory both our customer and staff wearing a face mask. Of course, we have to, if possible, we have to control the number of the appointments. Have to limit the salon crowd and sanitize equipment like at least few times a day, and we really have to sanitize our salon as well. So and keep track all the record and all the stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing. So we have Relink, we have Melissa Tan. I guess Melissa Tan is a big fan, right? Winnie. She said that she's now in USA 6:18 a.m. in the early morning. Thank you, Melissa, for watching our live interview. So, Melissa, I understand that both of you guys in the situation, and hope that you guys will stay strong. And also, William Liao, give some love to give some love to us. Yeah. So when now they have decided against it. So what do you think about this move? Previously the government say no, now they say yes. So do you think because of the pushback by the netizen, so they say no, or what do you think? So 2 days ago they say yes, now they say no. Do you think the government really take into consideration and take serious precautions plans before they announce it?
Yeah, initially it should be discussed upon rather than giving a lot of. I'm sure there are a lot of hairdressers who didn't mind to open, because you see, the Malaysian Association may did a survey that about 91% of the people do not want to open, but we cannot represent the whole of the country, because I'm sure, let's say if there's 20,000 hairdressers in the market, definitely there will be at least 10% who wants to be open, but it's just too, it's just at that point of time when some of them, I even received WhatsApp from a friend who said, wow, this person already taking appointment from Monday. I said, are you sure? We don't even have the authority, because you see, you apply, you're supposed to be approved, and then this person wanted to send WhatsApp out to say that you can make appointment with the salon on a Monday and a Thursday. They
Okay.
decide to open. So you see, there will be hairdressers who's very excited to actually open. So, but when the government say yes and no, actually there are definitely a lot of disappointments, in that situation.
Okay.
But on our side, we actually have a team meeting even on Saturday itself. We decided that yes or no, we are not opening because we knew that we have to apply from there. That's the instructions given. Even though maybe we thought yes, maybe we should apply. It's like you can apply and have the right, and yet do not open, right? Rather than you don't even explore to apply. That's what our thought was. So, but on Saturday itself, we have decided that we are not opening as a group because my staff welfare and their health is definitely more important than just me looking at my wealth for the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Because you see, as a group, we have to be responsible. Because if anyone in my group became positive, I will feel really, really sorry that it's because they came to work. But it may not be from my shop, but along the way, maybe they may be picking up from public transport or they pick up elsewhere.
Okay.
Worries me when the government say, or the employer have to be responsible for all the medical expenses. This is something I cannot accept because it may not be from my place. So it can be anywhere. As long as you let people out of their home, they can pick it up anywhere. In the end, I become responsible. So we said, this is definitely not really fair to an employer who is willing to risk. It's like we are frontliners. We're definitely frontliners. I think we are just like going to be like dishonest. We are going so near to the client to service, and then in the end, we have to pay for everything. I think that frightens us.
Yeah, that's why I saw this one particular clause as in like anything happens to your stuff, the employer will have to take the responsibility about the medical. So that's why I felt that like, oh my God, this is not a joke, man. Anything happen, right? It is gonna be like a big responsibility, on this. So what about Juno? What about Juno? On your thoughts on this?
Actually, I stand very firm with that, and I agree with the decision that they made. I think this is really a good move. We do understand that during this period, must be a high demand, like for a customer, they desperate for a haircut, but the threat of the COVID-19 is actually still imminent. Despite wearing a mask or actually we're trying to prevent, the risk is also still very high for me. For example, a hairdresser has to serve 5 or maybe like maximum 10 customer per day. If let's say one of us or either our customer that we seated are infected, we are actually cannot imagine that it will spread to how many people quickly. So it's very risky. It's not only for ourselves, but I think we have to pay for the responsibility for the public as well. This is the war that we really have to stand firm and fight for it. It's not only for all my personnel, as what Datin said. It's not only for her wealth, but also together along with our staff and everyone in Malaysia or even around the world. Yeah.
Yeah, Debbie has one question, for you guys. When you reopen your salon after MCO, will you limit the services offered, such as just hair cutting, to reduce the risk of infections?
For me, no. If we are allowed to open proper, because if you don't risk yourself, another thing why we didn't really want to open, what's the point of risking ourselves to do a basic haircut? You already risk yourself. So having a haircut which is unwashed, I think is even more risky. Because you see, if a come in for a quick service, like the client wanted, because everyone's hair is really gray, or maybe they may want a quick touch up of their roots or a quick treatment. I believe clients are already willing to sit for 45 minutes for a haircut, let's say. What is another 5 minutes to touch up the roots and quickly just send them off to please everyone who come into the shop. Already they risk themselves coming out. We would really hope that we can have a proper service, not just a cut, at least a cut and style or a treatment and a style or something. Really, that is our aim. If we go back into business, we would love to be a little bit more full-fledged.
Okay, what about Juno? Will you limit it to services?
No, I don't think so. If the government has are really confident enough to allow how to say like all the businesses is going back to normal, right? I think we should really have to, as a business point of view, we also need like income to sustain, right? Yeah, of course, and then we also have to trust the government decisions. So I think I will not go for any restrictions or limitations from the services, because as I personally think, okay, you spend your time like a haircut and wash like 45 minutes. Yeah, why not? You just go for a hair color. It will not like, just make sure that we have to safeguard ourselves, and maybe we just have a proper like a sanitizer and everything. Yeah, that's it. That is all what we can do for the moment.
Okay, yeah, I would like to address this particular questions to Datin, Winnie. Was the Malaysian Hairdressing Association consulted on this like open or not open before the decision was made, Winnie?
The Malaysian Hair Association actually, in a way, we gave a letter. Yeah, because we were asked to submit a letter before the government decide on the announcement. So we did send in a letter to say that this was SOPs. Yeah, we did. We did have a proper guideline. And when the announcement just came out that day and suddenly says it's only just haircuts allowed. So we did write back and say, they said, yes, just basic haircuts. So we were like, what? Basic haircuts? No thing, nothing. So yeah, that fear us, that fear. So in the end, we rather back to them. We decided, please revoke it. I don't think we want to open. Yeah, because it's kind of scary to be cutting unwashed hair. Yeah, unwashed hair is definitely not in our list, because we are so used to washing, have clean hair before we cut hair and things like that. So it's not actually so pleasant to be cutting unwashed hair. So the Malaysian Association really, have been working very tirelessly on this to make sure that everything is in order. From the president to the committee, they've been really driving this through, having a lot of awareness even to the rest of the members via our Facebook Live and the associations.
Okay, so Alan Pang is on the line. So hi Xavier, Datin, Winnie Lu, and Juno. Hi Alan, how are you doing? Hope you guys fine.
Alan.
So some justify that action as necessary because getting haircuts, can reduce one blood pressure. So it is true. It is a good enough reason to open the hair business. Really, you have been cutting hair for a few decades. Is this a good reason to open the business? Because to reduce the blood pressure.
Yeah, maybe there are some people who are just so particular about looking good. Sometimes it's good to have people who pride their vanity to that extreme of feeling, it's like without a good haircut, they are stressed. With a good haircut, their blood pressure also can come down. So it's actually a very, it's a very nice thing when there are people who appreciates to have a good haircut or rather have a haircut during the downtime. Because you see, we are the people who crowns the glory of many. So sometimes when you're unhappy, we crowns the we crowns the glory of many people's head. So when we can actually make people's life less stress, isn't it joyful yeah, it's so joyful, right? That we are able to be in that position to make people's blood pressure drop because of us. Wow, I look at it as a compliment.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. One thing, jokes aside, a lot of people were saying that hair can wait.
Right.
So yes, hair
Yes,
can wait.
yes, yes.
It's,
So what about
it's
Juno?
important. There will be people who pride themselves look. They I think want to look good. So is I'm thankful to those to those whoever say that it really by having a good haircut or rather they can have a haircut, the blood pressure also can go down. I think
Okay.
it's fantastic to think that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
about Juno?
basically, based on these interesting questions, I think I'm really not sure. I never done any research for that before. But one thing that I'm pretty sure, it's like a bad haircut definitely can raise a customer blood pressure. You will get a bad haircut. So for sure, and on the other hand, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure also a good haircut does make someone's day. So, but
Mm-hmm.
therefore, I think rather than looking good, I know this is very important as a hairdresser, as a human being. Everyone does want to look good. So this is very common. But I think for this moment, right? So nothing is actually more important than protecting a human life for the moment. So, but take it as a joke or compliment. So this one have to be really judged by yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Datin, Winnie, and Juno, what's your personal thought on what will happen to the hair industry after MCO is over?
I can see that there's still some fear going on. There will be a lot
Okay.
of people who still, fear about coming, possibly
Mm-hmm.
delaying if they have to, until they really see a very positive, like zero case. We really hope that day will
Okay.
come is zero case, right? So
Yeah.
for for weeks, even after the MCO is lifted,
Mm-hmm.
there will be people who would be fearful. There will be delay, and there will
Mm-hmm.
be people just want to spend minimal time. Maybe they'll just want something really quick. To the
Mm-hmm.
extent it's like check in, check out. I believe client will not like the dilly dally because you see we have clients that come to our salon and spend 4 hours with us. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the scenario change. The client possibly will want to be in and out faster. So things change. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing is it will definitely affect a lot of the salon's revenue because if clients sort of like because like everyone say for now cash is king, right? So they possibly want to reserve some cash thinking that they might want from short hair, maybe they decide to have long hair, or there may be people using this period to to actually uh, decide to try to even cut their own hair. You see, so things can change because you see, COVID-19 is really an eye opener. I have been in
Okay.
business for 41 years. I think I've never seen anything of this. This is a wave that I
Mm-hmm.
am really very. I'm at a stage that I'm also seeing it, waiting
Mm-hmm.
for it. I
Mm-hmm.
really hope it won't take too long because
Mm-hmm.
if it takes long, not just the hair business, a lot of business. See, this kind of thing, business is like that. It's like
Mm-hmm.
this might pass from this to the next to the next. So if
Mm-hmm.
everyone decide not to spend at all, I think this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a serious problem of a depression. It's more
Mm-hmm.
than a risk. It's going to be a very serious depression.
Speaking about this crisis, Winnie, so I guess Winnie had also witnessed the economic crisis in 1997, 1998, and also the SARS during SARS times. So do you see, the situation is worse than now, or probably the situation now is actually worse than these two crises that happened in the past?
I have seen literally through my 41 years of business, I've seen all the crises from the
Mm-hmm.
80s to the 90s, the 2007. But this one is so problem. This one is not just affecting our country or Asia or what. This is a global problem. Global
Mm-hmm.
problem will take a long time for it to recover.
Mm-hmm.
And worst thing, this is not because of anything financial. It's because of the fear of something unknown. You see,
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19 is unknown. No one sees it. No one. You don't even know where to touch it, how to get it, and
Okay.
it's like. So the fear will be on for quite a while. So it's going to be quite a serious problem because it links up to all sorts of business.
Okay.
Not just it's going to be it's going to be a link on from one to another to another. So it's going to be quite a serious problem as I can foresee. It will Malaysian, especially a lot of entrepreneurs are going to be, especially those who are, let's say, who do not really have, who are especially a newer business who may not have so much deep pockets to weather this whole thing.
Okay, so let's move on to the impact to the business after the MCO is over. So we can foresee the hair salons, will see a sudden boom in the demand. So will this able to keep hair salons running after weeks without revenue? Do you know?
For me, I personally think that regarding about the previous questions that you asked to Datin, Winnie, so this is a global pandemic. So definitely, it's not only the severe impact is not only in local, but in also in the global economy. So in the long run. So in the short term, the first impact I would definitely thought like customer will be cutting their spending. They will only
Okay.
spend the necessities. This is maybe. So as what you mentioned about these questions, so as mentioned earlier, I think it's a little bit difficult to predict. But I myself personally think like is even after that after the MCO is over and everything get back to normal,
Yeah.
it's still very hard to cover back this loss for these 6 weeks. I mean, yeah.
Definitely, undeniably, for 30 minutes, because you have
Yes,
about 200 stuff.
that's
So
why.
really, what about you?
I tell you, it's very alarming. Actually, I never fear so much. All the crisis, I was able to weather it, but
Okay.
because I'm still able to open all the way, even though I see all the neighbors around me, because from those days of the Plaza to so many of the malls that I was in, I see so
Mm-hmm.
many shops being attached and closed. So I've seen it, but I was still in business because I can still open my shop. Right now, I'm in a different scenario. I am having zero income,
Okay.
and yeah, zero income, and yet I am still having to pay. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
understand fear
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going through is because we have zero income, but the
Okay.
spending is going on, the expenses. So
But
it's a very different scene. It's a really different scene, and this scene is very alarming. And
okay.
don't just speak for myself. I think I really speak for many SMEs and entrepreneurs out there. If
Mm-hmm.
this whole thing prolongs for too long,
Mm-hmm.
I believe not just the employer. I think a lot of employees will be out of job. So
Mm-hmm.
this time, I will really feel
Mm-hmm.
this crisis will really have to see the relationship of the employer and the employee. And it's time actually for the employee to step forward to actually uh, be to allow this whole step forward to be to do your boss a favor, in
Okay.
whatever because because you see, if you have always been receiving, we call it, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
about time to do some kindness, because you see, in this world, why we became this way, I think even sometimes I look at COVID as being sent to us to remind us that this world is short of love, short of gratitude. Maybe COVID is also a time for employers to cut off whatever employee that you feel has not been good enough. Sometimes it's not being unkind because they always say last to come in, first to go out, that kind of thing. But sometimes term staff can actually take the boss for granted. If they have took the boss for granted, and if you have been with the employer for 30 years and you did nothing because you just felt that, oh yeah, I am part of the furniture. It's not like that anymore because this COVID is giving bosses a chance to start all over again, we call it. Because you see, it's easy to run a business for any business whatsoever. I don't just speak for that because I'm also the deputy president of the Branding Association. I look at all entrepreneurs are going through hard times. So this is not. It's a time that employer and employee have to have some serious discussions. Yes, serious discussion. Get this whole thing to get it correct again. Otherwise, they may be employer, but they may be employee, but no more employer, and a lot of employer are going to eventually disappear from the scene.
Okay. So,
and
yeah,
they can say yes, I can another job, but there's not many jobs to choose already soon.
Okay. What about Juno?
You mentioned about the what's your questions again? I'm so sorry.
You're talking about so are you after this MCO over, we can foresee hair salons will see a sudden boom in
Yes.
will this able to keep hair salon running after weeks without revenues?
No, as I think I did answer these questions before, so I think it's a little bit hard. We're going through all these tough time. It's not only hair salon. I think most of the businesses and I think this is really a tough time for us. We really have to stay firm and go through it all together. Yeah, I think Winnie did explain it very, very well, and I totally agree what she said. Yeah.
Okay. So having said that, now everybody is struggling, to survive or probably go through this pandemic. So do you think the shopping mall also would need to consider in terms of giving some allowance to the SME or the tenants to actually walk through together this pandemic? Winnie?
If you ask me, all my business are in shopping malls.
Exactly,
Leading shopping. Oh my God. I think, of course, the landlord will definitely say they do have their problem. Everyone have their own problem, right? But I think it's really to landlords should also step forward to be nice because you see, if landlord can in to help out this let's say these 2-3 months, then the tenant will be able to sail through, and then you don't even need to change tenants, right? So this is the win-win situation. So tenants need the support of the landlord, and landlord use this as a way to also have. And yes, because it's like very soon, in case if there's no help, a lot of tenants will eventually to even carry on the contract. So this is really part of it's very important. I call it the win-win situations.
Yeah, so how can the hair industry in Malaysia adapt or change after facing this COVID crisis? Is it possible to digitize this industry, Winnie?
Well, a lot of things can be digitalized, but I definitely we started computer system long ago in terms of records, in terms of accounts. Even I will know straight away on my desk, right? Even on the search of our, we know how much we did for the day or how many clients we did for the day. All this digitalization has always been very helpful. You possibly will be asking me the digital in the form of a robot cutting hair, maybe. If you really think that one day a robot will be digitalized to cut hair, then not around to stay that long anymore. I will definitely be already taking a good break and retire. I don't wish that they will come because hairdressers are people with so much of skills and love. You can put gentle looks into the let's say a robot. The robot can give you gentle haircuts, but I think the relationship is just because you see it's so important to have love and communications. Unless you tell me that the client to talk to the computer, love to talk to a robotic hairstylist. So digitalizing in many manner, yes, but not digitalize a human being to be taking over the hair industry because this is so skilled.
What about Juno? Do you think is that possible for?
Oh, okay. Based on digitization has really transformed or helped many industry on and off during the MCO or before the MCO. However, we definitely can use digitizations for our promotions or either online shopping or our appointment system, appointment bookings and all that. But when you come to the hair services, this is still something require like a personal close contact service. Sometimes it's not only about I think it's very hard to do a transactions online. Like, oh, okay, you pay me then. I think this is nearly. I could have said no, but it's a little bit difficult. But maybe we can come up something new. For example, maybe we can try to make it like hair product can be purchased online and delivered to the customer directly. Or maybe we can try to change a little bit our business method. We can implement, for example, like applications or something like that. We can combine it together. But when you come to a skill work, however, I think this is very difficult and a little bit challenging. Yeah.
Marvin has one question. The virus doesn't seem to be going anytime soon. What would you advise people who are in the events and entertainment industry? I'm a commercial videographer and musicians. Winnie, I think this is the right questions for you to
Yes.
answer.
Yeah.
He's a commercial what?
Videographer and musician.
Wow. It's actually a very, very challenging time for these people in the business because especially when the government do not approve projects, big projects not supposed to be approved. It looks like these people have to do a lot more like everyone was predicting that even if this whole COVID will be gone by, let's say, first week of June, let's say, but simply I won't see the government agreeing to big projects until way past maybe October towards December. People like videographers and also really have to come up with plans to do some maybe promote their products online already because this is really not within because you see, let's say like for my group, if I go back to business, I may want to do some online presence using some videographers to create maybe some punchy image or some videos and also. So maybe it's about time instead of always thinking about event kind of videography, you possibly think on how to do online, especially like me. I have friends. I can see some of my friends are still so active. People like Dennis Lau, and there's so many people who are still performing online. Maybe you don't get a chance to charge people, but at least you make it useful because you see, it's not really a time. Yeah, it's not really a time.
Online presence, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's not a time to make money, but at least you don't want to fade off suddenly when this whole thing is already, let's say if COVID is completely gone by October and your name also gone in. So at least create an presence during these few months to make people realize there is someone like them.
Okay, yeah, true.
Not just not do anything.
Yeah. So Stephen Lim has one question to address to Datin Winilu. So this moment will be a long fight market condition, at least 6 months. For most of the business, it may be impossible to continue condition. In what condition or criteria should we call it a cut loss? Before the depression kicks in, before losing out everything, including himself mentally.
I would advise those, oh, Stephen, yeah, thanks for a question. Because you see, it's, it's better to be short-term pain than long-term, no, than long-term pain, because you see, sometimes when you know that you cannot withstand it, whatever the saving or whatever amount that you can have, at least
Mhm.
if you try to weather it and you know that the bottom line is still too deep, then you
Mhm.
might as well just loss. No point to drag, because this is looking at this whole scenario, Malaysia or with the world will not
Mhm.
be completely out of the whole scenario.
Mhm.
I think it need to be 2020, end of 21 or 22
Mhm.
will be the better. So you need
Mhm.
1.5 years or perhaps we call it a
Mhm.
good 3 months before we can fly back. It's
Mhm.
definitely quite difficult to sustain the business on that long time. So if you
Mhm.
cut loss, at least you know that you still have some saving to
Mhm.
withstand and
Mhm.
go through gain when your chance
Mhm.
comes back, rather
Mhm.
than you zero rather than you zero yourself, because when you
Mhm.
zero your, it's really difficult to come back.
True. So, guys, if you have any questions, please do comments in the
This,
comment box, so we will answer your questions. Yes, Winnie.
mm, yeah, I can say something is like, unless these people have a good, let's say, some people in business, they may not have enough cash, but they
Mm-hmm.
have good property. So maybe it's also about time to, yeah, recharge back the property to the bank, or because you see, when you have property, it's much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you can always just reapply extra money, extra loan, just to get over this whole scenario before get into a serious problem.
Okay. So we talk about, like, now everyone cannot go to hair salons. So do you think this is a good time for everyone at home to pick up some hair cutting skill and sell hair treatment? Juno?
I think definitely that could never be a better time than now, because I myself, I did posted a DIY men's haircut video on both Facebook and YouTube. Surprisingly, the result and the outcome was okay, not turning me down anyway. So
Uh-huh.
from that point of view, I think people nowadays, during this crisis period, they are really desperate to need
Mm-hmm.
for a haircut, but it can be a bit challenging to cut your own hair. I even myself, I'm a hairdresser. Whenever when it's come to own haircut, it is
Yeah.
also very troublesome. I need someone to help me to complete the
Okay.
whole shape. But
Okay.
if anyone attempt to try it at home, I think you really have to be very careful while using those scissors and those clipper. But it could have a lot of fun of trying it. So I think it's good time for you to pick up some skill. As what I said, I learned cooking, and then I learned to do some video editing. I'm trying to brushing up my skill and all that. So anyway, if you don't mind, yeah, so you can take the risk. Why not?
What about Winnie? Do you think it's a time, to do some, sell hair treatment?
If you ask me, I'm in business. How can I encourage everyone to do their own hair? And then in the end, by the time we open back, everybody, oh, we don't need you anymore. We have perfected our own ability to cut our own hair. I would definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to, treat that as a way of encouragement. But um, I am actually doing, yeah, I am having a very interesting invitation to teach my opposite person online cutting his own hair, sharing
Okay.
some thoughts soon. Yeah, I will ask everyone teaching online, telling the other person how to cut hair.
Okay.
So, but if you ask me, if those people are actually very keen to learn, never right or wrong, because it's always some mistake make, right? So that is how
Okay.
you all learn. So if the mistake is made, then at least you value, wow, how important it is to have a professional haircut. And but
True.
if you're so desperate,
True.
you can't even another 2 weeks, yeah, go ahead, try it, because after all, it's just hair will grow. If anything goes wrong, we will be soon your service. So don't get too nervous. So after all, it's hair. I personally
Happy
don't
trying.
encourage
Happy trying. Happy trying.
the boys just to shave off, because really necessary lah. Why need to shave? Because better try all the layers and everything. In case go wrong, also won't be that bad. At least you still have hair, right?
Okay, yeah. Edmund has one question. So let's say the hair salon employee right now they're unable to cut hair for the customer. So what advice you for them, while they are at home, will you consider them to do something digital marketing services so that they can also earn some income for themselves? Datin, Winnie, or Juno can answer this.
Mm,
For our team, we actually arrange a lot of e-learning, because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of e-education for them, because we get the brands to use this as a time for them to still continue learning. So there
Mm-hmm.
is a platform on products, on a fair bit of training for them. So because you see, whatever it is, they are still in our employment. We will not want them to use ways and means to earn while at our while they're working for us. But of course
Yeah.
we can't check on them. So whatever method that they are having, why not? But I
Okay.
am definitely in favor of my staff trying to use this quiet time to do uh, uh, I call it the house calls,
Okay.
because you see, calls, you never know who is calling you. And if you're talking about house call, they may come just because of that money, they are also risking themselves to go to do house calls.
Mm-hmm. What about Juno?
Uh, okay, so I think this is a little bit tricky for me, right? So I don't have much comment on that, but I do agree very much what Datin Winnie said. I think she does answer everything that I wanted to say,
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
She's always very wise, I've been really like salute her, respect her as a really a good leadership, regardless in associations or either she can be a very wise, like really a very wise to
Thank you,
contribute.
thank you.
Yeah, this is
So,
true. This is true. I guess every hairdresser does respect you like what I do, right?
Thank you,
so
thank you.
how should we keep our hair properly groomed and at good health during MCO? Can you share a little bit tips with the audience who are actually watching the interview? Winnie?
I think it's very important to keep the hair clean, because you see, COVID is also about, it's a virus, right? So the more your hair is clean, so maybe there's not going to trap in your hair. So make sure you have a good shampoo, a good hair condition, because whatever it is, even though you're at home, you may not need to go out, but when the hair is in good condition, it's a lot. And when you don't take care of it, by the time you actually want to start all over again, when you go to the salon, will be actually a lot of that means the hair will become dry, the hair will become coarse. So it's nice to be able to condition the hair even while you're still locked up. I mean,
Mhm.
still locked down. Yeah, and especially for some people who will say, "Oh, now at this time it's so sudden, it's extended, and I don't have the right product at home and all things." Yeah, that one I really don't know how to encourage or give advice to those people who don't even keep products at home.
Okay.
Perhaps you can still buy online. I don't know. That one I am not very certain about how to advise those people who tell me now that they have no product at home.
Okay.
And I think that will be really a big issue when I have clients who's always relying at the color above to do their hair. Suddenly
Okay.
they say lockdown has extended too long and I'm running out of everything. So
Okay.
how are you going to assist me? So I
Okay.
think I say borrow your husband's shampoo also you need to use already.
You know,
Keep the hair clean. It's very
you know,
important.
so that
Um,
really,
yeah.
will you consider e-shopping because, like like you mentioned, your clients probably needs products. So will you consider selling online and deliver to them, or how?
Yeah, after this, you see, it's the new age of a kind of we're going online in all our products. And yes, we will be doing that. But actually, we were actually planning for this before COVID. But to get the approval and you get all those things going was still not in it was in the pipeline, but we couldn't get it going, and that this thing came around. You see, sometimes a lot of things just happen for a reason. So because of that, we are pushing it through. And yes, the minute we get back to business, yeah, our online business is going to kick off soon.
Okay. What about Juno?
Okay, I think beauty starts from home, right? Especially during these tough times, I think this is even more important. So we still have to keep ourselves look good to face these challenges in life, especially during this crisis period. So I would like to advise everyone, like a basic one, at least you clean your scalp and maybe your hair, apply something essential for your scalp, for your hair, nourish your hair and all that. I think this is something that really necessary. So for men's, I think most of the men's, especially Asians, we have a very rough and very cross hair, especially when the side without cutting. I think everyone does have the same problem. It's sticking out very much. If you have a Zoom meeting to go on, but without seeing very pleasant. So maybe you can try to use a hair gel or anything. You try to fix it to make it slightly more in shape. So at least you still look good. For women, if you have fringe, if you want to have a proper trimming, nowadays it's very easy. We can just get all that kind of tutorial on YouTube or either whatever app. So you can just learn it. So you can just try to trim it a little bit, or maybe you can it's a good time for you to explore something new. For example, you can varnish your hair with a different style and all that, just to make sure that you look good at least, so that you will look slightly more happier, maybe. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you are saying something from my heart because, like, I guess, like, I look more chubbier than ever because my side hair is getting longer. So Alexis has one question for hair salons, who have been very active on social media before the MCO. What kind of online tips do you have for these people, or probably they don't have online presence to kickstart their social media platform?
For social
you mean
media.
for not?
For those that have not very active on social media, what kind of advice or online tips that would Winnie could suggest for these salons?
If they have not get started, it's really about time to do something different. Maybe use this MCO to, yeah, create some videos. Yeah, because I think if you've not got started at all, it's no
Mm-hmm.
point to really put all about yourself because it's like, who are you? People won't even want to follow you. So you have to create stunning kind of videos or even maybe like Juno talk about online cutting hair. So maybe you just have to do something
Yeah.
different. You see, look at China. When China suddenly have this virus, everyone is sharing their videos so wildly. When they talk about washing hair from a distance or cutting hair from a distance. Whether you like it or not, whether they really do that way in their salon so much, but the video went up. So I
Mm-hmm.
think if you are a newcomer to the social media, maybe it's time to do something crazy lah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my thought.
What
Apart
about
from
you?
that,
Yeah.
then you really have to visually be seen because I think it's
Mhm.
very important during this kind of slow time to build up your personal branding.
Okay. So what
Okay.
about Juno?
So come to this digital genre, right? So everyone can see that social media marketing is actually playing a very important role to helping to promote the business, either offline or online business. We need that very much. So for who they have never started it, so I strongly advise you, maybe you just have to take a step forward. You just really have to try it. It's nothing so difficult as what you thought, because sometimes before we started, we might think like, oh, I don't know how to use the Facebook page. I don't know how to sponsor the ads. I don't know how to do the layout and all that. Okay, if you have enough of budget, nowadays there's so many what we call that agency that help you to do your social media marketing. But if you want to really save your cost, right, it's very easy as what I said nowadays. You can just go on YouTube like what I do to learn how to capture a video. I've learned myself. I'm even trying to edit myself. I have to record the video. It's not to force you to become like a multi-talented, but at least we have to try it out. If you really you don't take a step forward, right? I think in the upcoming future, right, we really need to digitize and especially social media marketing to help us to boost the business. So just take a step and take a look like what is really important and what is your unique selling point and what are you going to promote. So you have to make your mind and thoughts clear. The most important thing I would like to advise is you have to make sure that you choose the right audience. In every businesses, this is really important. We need to know that who are actually our target audience. So when you have a very good mindset on what is actually who is actually you targeting, so I think that will be much more easier for you. So you have to try to narrow down everything first. Maybe you just have to do it step by step. But don't afraid for that. It's very easy. If you're really willing to learn it, I think you can overcome it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jenna said a very important thing: embrace the change. Why not take this opportunity, to actually embrace the change, right? So David has one last. Let's go to the last question. Guys like to keep their hair short because it's easy to manage. What advice would you give to guys who are taking this opportunity to grow long hair?
I appreciate, yeah, I personally have shared with a few people talking about embrace change, right? Use this opportunity, especially there was one time the guys have trends which really shave the sides, really almost to bald and only left with a little bit of hair on the top. If you have been really doing that look for too long, it's because it's considered dated. So use this opportunity actually grow, because let's say if the guy suddenly have another 1.5 inches more, I think this is fantastic, because it's really a chance for the guys to have another look, because the look now sometimes may not necessary to be shaved at the sides, because really it's so nice to have a little bit of hair longer at the sides and doing another look. I definitely want to encourage the guys who have been too comfortable with short hair to embrace change. Time for a transformation, because I look at this COVID as a reason and a season of change. Yeah.
Okay. So what about you know?
So I think based on the questions from the guy, right? So actually short hair required more maintenance, especially when we slope the sides. So everyone thought like short hair is very easy to maintain. Actually, no. When you go back to like 80s or 90s that time, right, without sloping the hair, you see our parents or either our father or our relative, so they tend not to cut their hair that often. But when you come to these generations, nowadays, like within these few years, right, the trend has changed to like a quite shaved kind of hairstyle. So we can see that the frequency of the men's customer to visit to the salon has increased. So that's mean previously maybe they just have to cut their hair twice, or maybe two months once, but now they have to make it twice a month. So I think this is really a good time for you to have to change, because you don't think like long hair is very hard to maintain. But I have to be very honest to you. If compared to 10 years back, I have all those covered fringe kind of hair with a little bit of wave, like Korean style, right? I only need to cut my hair maybe 2 months or either 1.5 month once. But now I really have to cut it every like 10 days. So you can try
Okay.
to look into it and consider about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
embrace the change.
do you have anything, that before we end this session, anything you would like to share with the audience?
Anything? Yeah, on my side, no. I just want to say, yeah, I think a word of encouragement to everyone who is going through this storm.
Hmm?
Uh, yeah, by saying that stay strong. There's always a rainbow out there after the storm. So don't give up. Let's continue to fight this COVID together because united we stand. So yeah, I think just stay strong, stay safe, stay home. Don't do anything which go against the law. So yeah,
Okay.
because it's so important. In if all of us stay home and have to flatten the
Okay.
curve, I think it should be out by the first 2 days in May, right? So let's
Okay.
welcome first May, not a holiday, but yeah, let's not a holiday, but let's celebrate May the 1st by being officially out there working and once again, yeah.
Yeah. So, Juno, any
Yeah, guys, I
last?
think nothing much to do than just stay home, stay safe. Always think about your loved one, So just
Okay.
sometimes I also can be very bored. I want to sneak out, like maybe just finding my friend, but you have to think deeply. So in case touch wood, like we really get infected, I think our loved one will really suffer for that. So anyway, stay home, stay safe. I think together we can win this war together. Yeah.
Yeah, before we end this session, I have two announcements. 15th of April, which is tomorrow, 2:30, we have a session with Tan Sri Nazmi Saleh. He is the founder and chairman at Nadi Corp Holdings and chairman of several companies, and he is also the Malaysian Ernst and Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2003. He will be talking about wake up call, for business amidst COVID-19 on Friday. Winnie, this celebrity, Rachel Tan, Miss Chinese International 2003. Chen Wing Kam, film producer and author, and also Nat Ho, Singaporean actor and singer. We'll be discussing an outlook on entertainment trends. So guys, stay tuned, and I hope you guys see you tomorrow afternoon 2:30 with Tan Sri Nazmi Saleh. So thank you, and Tati Winnie Lu and Juno for your kind sharing, and stay safe. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.